What up, YT Nation? We back at it again with another video up here at the shop. We're gonna be working on a Jeep here again today, getting this thing back ready. The lower control arm came in this morning. I got that here. I gotta jack it up, take the wheel off, take the fender liner off, and then we have 2 bolts inside the engine bay for the upper control arm. They're a little bit of a pain to get to. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but under the fuse box and everything in here, there is a bolt right up in here. I doubt y'all can see that. There. And then there's one back here. Right down there. You gotta take those 2 bolts off to get it out in there. So let me go ahead and jack this thing up, put it on a jack stand, and start taking the wheel off and get the fender liner out. And then I'll give you a better picture of what's going on under there, which we gotta do. And I'm trying to make it as easy as possible without having to take everything apart on it. Because the way it's calling for, you got to drop 90% of the suspension components down and out the way to get to them 2 bolts from the slide out behind the shock. But we're going to see if we can finagle it and do it a little bit of a different way. Stay with me. Alright, I got the wheel off and the fender liner removed. And then let's see if I can get y'all a good. There it is. That bolt right there. That one. You got to take that off. That is an 18 millimeter. I had already started and broke it loose. So that one's off. What I'm going to try to do is snake that bolt right here past the shock and try to get it out through there. You're supposed to pull all this away, but I'm hoping I can snake that through. I'm gonna go ahead and bust this loose, but first I'm gonna try to get the bolt off of this side over here, and that's the other one inside the engine bay. So once I get that bolt off, I'll get this bolt off and then separate it, and then I'll string this up out the way, and then I'll see if I can't try to wiggle these bolts past this shock without removing everything. That's my goal. I don't want to have to take off 90% of this stuff right here in order to pull that shock forward to get them bolts out. So we're going to look for some little workaround and try to finagle it. If I got to pry on the spring a little bit or something to get it past there, that's what I'm going to do. So stick with me. I'm going to show y'all once I got all the bolts out. Alright, so I was able to get the 2 bolts out. I got them snaked past the shock just like I wanted to. As you can see right there, that bolt's out and that bolt is out. Got one sitting there, the other sitting right there. So all I did was I took my pry bar and I took it and stuck it behind there and just pried on it just a little bit to push that shock forward some. I did that on both sides, and I was able to sneak them right past the shock, the strut, whatever you want to call it. But now that those 2 are out completely and this is separated, I can pull right out. There's the old one, and there's the new one. This thing is twisted. This one is straight. So we're gonna go ahead and get this one installed. I gotta press this ball joint in and tighten it down from the top here. But I think I need to get it on the car and kind of lined up where it needs to sit before I actually press that in. So stick with me. The next process is putting her all back together. That was easier than I thought it was. Alright, so I got the new arm in. The bolts are in. Everything's in. This is torqued down. I've got the jack under it to apply the pressure as it would be at ride height for torque. Everything's torqued down the way it's supposed to be, and it's all good to go. It's back up in there now. The only other thing that I want to do is make an adjustment on this lower control arm. It's setting back a little bit. I need to bring this side forward and that side back to bring the wheel forward a little bit more. And then once all that's done, we can take it to go get a front end alignment, and it should be good to go. Well, stick with me. I'm gonna get all this back together and that adjusted, and I'll show y'all the ending results. Alright, so it's the next day here. I had to wrap it up last night. It started getting late on me, so I couldn't show y'all everything after it was put back together. But I got it all put back together, and I did move that control arm, the lower control arm. I adjusted it like I said I was going to. And then I also had to adjust the upper control arm ball joint. It had a weird offset to where you can actually like adjust the wheel in and out. So that's what I did on that. On that one right there. I don't know if you can really see, but this plate right here is adjustable. So when I had this originally installed, this plate, this thick part, was in the back, which was causing the wheel to sit forward, poking out of this like that. You could see the top of the wheel. So I got that adjusted, and then I got the part adjusted where the wheel sits forward more now to where it's all in spec. And then I got the actual toe kind of as straight as I could get it. This is all just eyeball alignment, but it's looking 100 times better than what it was. I haven't drove it just yet. About to actually take it on a drive here in a minute. I'm gonna drive it back to the house and take it for alignment tomorrow, because today's Sunday. I'm gonna take it Monday morning. But I don't know if you can really tell, but that wheel looks a lot straighter than what it was. It was bowed out, set back, and tilted out. So it had a lot of, I guess, what, negative camber or positive camber, positive out, negative in. It was out. So I got all that done and just really cleaned up the shop, swept the floors up and everything, got everything organized again, put it all back in its spots. So I'm gonna take that home tonight and then drop it off in the morning, and we'll see what happens with the alignment. So stick with me. So the next clip y'all gonna see is gonna be at the alignment shop for y'all, but for me it's gonna be overnight. So see y'all in a minute. So on the way home, I decided to stop and go ahead and wash the car or vacuum it out and everything like that. Give it a little quick detail, just so when I drop it off in the morning, you know, it looks somewhat decent. But this is what we got. She cleans up pretty nice. Got the inside all vacuumed out. She all clean. Just need to wipe everything down really good on the inside. But other than that, she clean, ready to go. So we up here at the alignment shop. They about to put the Jeep up on the rack. Gonna see what it's looking like here in a few minutes. And there they go driving it right now. And they about to throw it on the rack and then get the alignment done. And then we'll see how it drives after that. And I'll be right back with y'all. And there they go. They got her up on the rack. They about to get it going. So we just left the alignment shop. Seems like she's driving a lot straighter, the wheel's straighter. Could let the wheel go. And she's driving a lot better than she was. She's still off a little bit because of that light. It's got a steering angle sensor fault. So I need to get that recalibrated. And then once that's recalibrated, everything should be 100%. But she is driving straight. She's good to go. Alright, man. So it's been a day since I recorded anything. Monday I took the car for the alignment. Today's Wednesday. I'm actually taking the car to get the windshield put in it today. And we'll get that done here shortly. I'm about to pull up to the shop to get that installed. First time taking it out on the interstate today after the alignment. It's driving pretty straight. It's driving good. No issues with any of that. First time on highway speeds with, since everything's been rebuilt pretty much. The light on the dash, I figured out what that is. That is the steering angle sensor inside the steering wheel in the clock spring. So unfortunately I'll have to replace that at some point. There'll be a video on that, but as of right now we're about to pull up to this shop here in a few minutes, and once we get there I'll show y'all what the shop looks like, and then hopefully they let me get some footage. I don't know if they will or not of the install, but we'll see, and then we'll show you what it looks like from there. Stick with me. So I'm just now leaving the windshield place. They didn't want me to record in there, but got the brand new windshield in. All that's good to go on the interstate driving. Riding good. But I definitely need to do that steering wheel angle alignment and then reset the steering wheel straight. All that is off from when I did the rack and pinion removal and all that. I had to disconnect the steering column shaft that runs to the rack and pinion in order to change out the oil pan and all that under there. But once I get that, I'm gonna try to recalibrate it first before I order a new one. I'll take it all apart, hook up the scan tool to it, and try to zero it out, and then set the wheel straight and then set it up there and see how that does, and hopefully I can erase the code and it won't come back. But that'll probably be for another video. As of right now, she's running and driving. Only thing left to do is that and the paint work, and she'll be done. Alright, man, so we're back here up at the shop, and as you can see in the background, I got the Jeep up here. I'm gonna eventually pull it in here and leave it over here for now. I'm gonna order a new scan tool. I got an old scan tool that I've been using just for as long as I can remember, and it's not compatible with the steering wheel alignment stuff, so I'm gonna order one tonight that is, And then when that comes in, I'll go ahead and get that stuff straight on there. I'll make a whole nother video about all of that stuff and getting it wrapped up. But for now, I'm gonna just park it here and call around and get some quotes on having it painted. And then I'm gonna also get a quote on how much it'll cost for me to get the materials to paint it myself. See what the price difference is on everything. And see if it's worth my time to really do it. If it's gonna save me a couple $100, I'll do it. But if it's like, you know, a little small difference, I'm gonna just have somebody else paint it, because I really don't have time in a day to sit down and paint something that much. So I'm gonna get that straight. We'll figure all that out. But for now, that's gonna be really it for this video until the scan tool comes in and I make another video on all that stuff. So I want to say thank y'all to all the people who have subscribed, watched the videos and all that. 90% of y'all that have watched the videos are not subscribed to the channel. So please go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. If you leave comments, tell me what you want to see, any questions you might have. You know, I might be able to help you out with something you might be stuck on. I do interact and engage in comments. But yeah, yet again, like, share, subscribe, and I appreciate everything. Peace out, YT Nation.